Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 42 of Divine FM. This week, I think I'm gonna be talking about letting go and accepting difficult truths. I have been taking a little break, a little hiatus, I suppose, off of Divine FM. I have honestly just been feeling through it, as everyone else is collectively, and one of the overriding, topics or themes, I suppose, of these past couple of months have been accepting hard truths and responding instead of reacting, and trying to get myself to a place where I can, just respond to things from a frequency of the answer, or like what I would like, my higher self would like to happen, versus just reacting in like my emotional state as of current, like whenever the thing happens or whatever. And something that has been really hard but very rewarding is being able to accept things as they are and let them go just as quickly, just as willingly, because I'm sure everyone knows who Alyssa Liu is, and something she talks about a lot is how she's attached to everything, or connected to everything but attached to nothing, something along those lines. And I think that's a perfect way to describe like how detachment should be in like just all aspects of our life and our relationships and with ourselves and our goals and things. And I've really been struggling with anxiety personally, more than usual, and I love the birds. I wish you could see what I am seeing right now. It's just a beautiful blue sky and lush green trees, and listening to the birds sing. It's just literally the best. But yeah, just accepting hard truths and genuinely accepting them and letting myself move on with my life and letting that affect my future actions and thoughts, instead of, the story that I've been trying to convince myself in my head or anything along those lines. It's never fun. It's never, it's like literally the cause of a lot of my anxiety is having to accept these hard truths, or just having to know that like everything is not exactly how I thought it was or how it was told to me, and also the fact that I've been wrong about so many things, like, and I'm still finding out more, things that I'm wrong about, and just mostly the fact that I'm not, just because I have certain experience or like knowledge of certain things, like doesn't mean that I'm the fucking like end all be all, that I know everything. And like, hell no, like my hyper independence really kicks me in the ass sometimes, like especially whenever I'm fully have walked into this season of my life where I can't do things alone anymore. Like it fully is a community oriented lifestyle that I'm creating for myself and that I want for myself. But that also includes me having to let go of all of my individualistic, standards, and just the idea of the fact that like, just because I don't do something on my own doesn't mean I shouldn't still be proud of it, or that I still worked hard, if anything, I should want to receive this help. I should want to, be a part of a community that wants to engage with me and, just has the same morals and beliefs as me and genuinely just wants to make a change that's bigger than ourselves. But to do that, it's like literally having to go through ego death after ego death after I, have certain experiences that help me align with, my higher self, or just getting closer and closer and closer to who I truly want to be, and just a version of myself that I'm actually proud of and feels like me and isn't performative and or exhausting, and is actually joyful and happy. And a lot of the things that I've been healing like shame about, and I have to, accept like these hard truths specifically, all really have to do with like my self-worth and how I feel about myself in regards to like my outer world and my career and my interpersonal relationships, and how I feel about myself and my relationship with myself and how healthy or unhealthy it is. It was much unhealthier than I thought. Surprise, surprise. But then again, I'm constantly learning about myself and people around me in the world. And with that comes, radical acceptance and also radical change. So here I am saying out into the world, out into the open, I am not right. And I'm almost never going to be right. But I am passionate. And I do come from a genuine, loving, authentic perspective, if that makes it any better. But I know it's very easy to be misinterpreted, misunderstood, and you can't control everything. You can't control how people perceive you or how people treat you, and that's another one of those hard truths that I've had to accept. And are so accepting because I'm never going to be able to be perfect. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is still, joyful and happy and motivated regardless of the state of the world and the catastrophe of it all. I mean, what can I even say? Like, there's a reason why I feel like I didn't feel the urge to podcast for such a while. It's just too heavy sometimes to self-reflect and kind of put it on like a collective standpoint whenever there's so much bigger issues, I guess, happening. But another hard truth that I'm fully accepting is that I can't pour from an empty cup. And regardless of how much of my self-worth comes from filling other people's cups and making people proud and trying to be the hero and be that strong, mighty warrior that I know that I am, I need to remember that there is a very fine balance when it comes to that. And I can't always be that, especially whenever I'm already like feeling drained. I think I've come to the realization that the times that I need to be that big, strong warrior are mostly times that like I need to use her for myself, if that makes sense. Like whenever I'm having a really bad like panic attack or just feeling lots of anxiety, or I'm feeling really sad and alone and I don't want to have to feel like I'm too anxiously attached to anyone in my life. I'm truly trying to practice being connected to everything and attached to nothing. But with that comes a lot of sad truths of not trusting yourself and not being okay with being alone because of that, like distrust within yourself and just the overall angst of not feeling whole with just your individualistic self and your individual self and like what you're doing for your life and your hobbies that you've been doing and how much you know yourself and spend time with yourself. Like there's so many things that go into like self-worth and just confidence in general and self-identity that are not what I had been focusing on a lot of my life. It's still new to me, people validating, I guess, or just being a mirror of who I am truly on the inside, like in my day-to-day life now. Like the friends that I have and just the interactions that I have are so fulfilling and make me so happy, and really just is a good indicator that I'm on the right track. But it's been really hard getting here, and a lot of dying, and having to find myself again and dying again and finding myself again, and just accepting all of my actions, the things I've said, the things I've done, the things I've thought, just who I was in the past and who I am now and who I will be in the future, just being okay with all of it and forgiving myself and for others for anything that has caused me to stray away from my highest path. But ultimately, I just feel so much gratefulness and enlightenness and joy when I think about where I'm going and the path I'm on, and the fact that I've been able to withstand all of these obstacles thus far, and being able to actually sit here and say that I trust myself again, and I love myself again, and I feel really grateful for the things that I'm doing in my life and for all the people in my life. And although I have so much fear, also I have so much courage and bravery built up through all of these experiences that I've had. So I think it'll be an okay ride, guys. I think we're all going to be okay, and hopefully I'll be uploading more regularly as well, because Divine FM is a really big part of my life, and I feel really excited to be recording again. I think I'm going to post this right after I record. I really was being hard on myself when it came to recording. The amount of episodes that I have not posted because I just wasn't happy with it is absolutely insane. But I just had to accept that my method of expressing myself, my way of expression is not my art method, is that how you say it? My method of expressing myself, let's say that, is going to be different from my friends. It's going to be different from the creators that I consume, and I need to remember that comparison is a thief of joy, because I am so bad at comparing myself to others, specifically when it comes to my craft and just being creative. It's really a problem, but it's a problem worth solving, because I don't want to feel like I'm not good enough just because my craft is not of the same caliber of someone else's who per se has been practicing that craft for much longer than me, or just is a different person, has different experiences, and therefore that's why they're different than me. I don't want to say better, let's just say different. And that shouldn't stop me from still doing my craft and still posting and still being seen, because I love it and I want to do more of it. And I think the more that I hold myself back just because it's imperfect, the less I'll want to post. And so that is something that I actually wrote in my journal recently, that I struggle with imperfection, and just fucking post it, just fucking post it. If you feel the itch, which I did, and you put the effort in and the love and the attention, what's holding me back? Absolutely nothing. Just the fear of rejection, ? The fear of it not being what I wish it was, maybe. Or I keep comparing myself to my friends' podcasts, where I just like how it is, I guess. Not better, it's just different than mine, and that itch in my head is literally the thing holding me back from posting. So I'm gonna post, and I hope this is relatable to other people that seriously, analysis paralysis and comparison can seriously bite you in the ass, especially when it comes to your craft. So another hard truth, guys. You sometimes are your worst enemy. And I know that to be very, very true. And whenever I actually made that realization, it made me so depressed and even more anxious, because I was oh my fucking god, I'm literally the reason why I'm the problem. But then you realize everyone else also is the problem. We're all the problem. But the difference is if you're willing to accept that and really dig deep into what's actually causing the problem, the root of the issue, the thorn that's stuck inside of the foot, truly trying to dig deep and pull that shit out once and for all, for good, and move on with your life. I am gonna really practice this, because it feels really good to get on the other side of that overthinking hump, and just of that feeling of worthlessness and just insecurity, I suppose, and subconsciousness. And it can seriously overlay itself over every other aspect of your life, even if you are doing really well. There are some things in my life that also are really stressing me out, and they're new insecurities that I have, and really just hard truths that I've had to accept about myself and about like my upbringing and about the way that I treat like certain aspects of like my material life. Like I have been very mistaken when it comes to just like certain like 3D, there's just like certain things in life that are really hard. Adulting, #adulting, like that is what I'm trying to say. It is very overwhelming if I let it be, and so I've really trying to work on just trying to solve my like current problem within the overlying like huge problem of like the thing that's stressing me out, trying to solve like those little tiny triggers that like I guess make the problem like feel worse for me, because the problem is really just an insecurity and something I can't solve until I learn these certain lessons and go through the just the movements, like the cycles of what I need to learn in order to figure out how to adult the best way for me, you know? And I think that's okay. I am very okay with that. Personally, I think I'm still doing okay, and I'm gonna be okay regardless of what happens, and I'm really proud of myself for, you know, just trying really hard and still giving myself grace and giving others grace and being loving, and regardless of it all, you know. And I'm the most proud of that, honestly, than anything else right now that like I'm doing and in my life, you know. I'm just like, I'm really glad I'm able to still be loving and still feel light for the most part, and, you know, see things from a, for the most part, you know, like pretty optimistic perspective. And it has truly helped me through a lot of these problems, and I'm so fucking grateful for all the people in my life who continuously show up and help me and anytime I need it, and just make me feel so loved and validated, and, you know, just like a family, you know. I truly have the best community, and I'm just so grateful. And I didn't, like, not a day goes by where I don't like think about and, you know, just feel loved and even communicate with at least one person from my community, you know. Like I didn't have that before, and it's something that I need to never ever take for granted. Count my blessings every single day, and, you know, let's all just use this moment to really count our blessings and just appreciate the world around us, the beauty in it all, regardless of what the fuck ever is stressing us all out. Like, none of it is really real when it comes down to the earth, the wind, and the fire. Earth, wind, fire, air. Those are the real things, the real elements. Those are the things that actually matter. You know, sorry, I'm just being silly now. Has anyone else watched Avatar: The Last Airbender / Legends of Korra? I am so late in the game of watching those two shows, but holy fuck, like, why were those gatekept from me for so long? Like, I do not understand. I feel like I had my spiritual awakening like really early in life, and like the fuck, like that is my fucking shit. Like, that is my show. Guys, comment down below, like, I guess, like, who's your favorite Avatar, maybe, or like what's your favorite character from Avatar, maybe. Personally, mine is Uncle. Uncle is my favorite. Uncle is my bias. But yeah, I suppose I'll end off this episode with my highs and lows of 2026 thus far. Or really just, like, you know, the past, like, couple months, because it's already, like, at the end of March. And my last episode, I believe, was in, like, January? February? I don't remember. I really don't. But it's been a while. But anywho, my highs. I've had a lot, so I'll mention a couple. Being able to go on vacation with my partner and some friends, and just having the time of my life during spring break, that was so awesome. Like, the biggest relief and, like, weight lifted off of my shoulders just being able to give myself that like confirmation that I'm like, I am able to go on vacation. Like, I am allowed to have fun. I am allowed to relax, let loose, and let love in, you know. And it was really fun. I have been learning a lot of like hard lessons these past couple of months, but I feel like I've grown much closer to like not only my partner but also my family and my friends. Like I've built closer friendships with people that are like new friends, which makes me really excited. And I feel really proud of myself for like putting myself out there and just like networking in general, because that ultimately brings, you know, more people into your community. Another high is my partner and I have been doing more tarot events, and we're so lucky and blessed and excited to announce that we're going to be collaborating with Divine Pokes at Divine Pokes on Instagram at apartment 144. It's 1010 South Florida Street on March 28th from 10 to 4 p.m. We're going to be doing a little collaboration called Tattoos and Tarot, where basically she's going to be doing, her name's Bianca. Beautiful, awesome, wonderful, such funny little girl. Awesome girl. Not little girl. Such an awesome girl. And she's going to be doing stick and poke tattoos. And we're going to be doing tarot readings with little prints and poems to go with it. And I believe her stick and poke tattoos are like energy, like stick and poke tattoos. Like, it's a very like holistic, like very awesome vibes. Love Bianca, and I love everything about it. So that'll be really exciting. And you can book a reading either with me or Johnny on our Instagrams, or you can look up my website, starseatreasures.com. It's really like over encompassing for like all of our stuff, like the Moon Rocks Productions and everything. Or you can just DM us, or you can DM Divine Pokes as well on Instagram, and book an appointment with her for a stick and poke tattoo, and then we can do a reading for you as well if you'd like, or you can just do the tattoo or just the reading, whichever. But yeah, that has been a really exciting thing, is collaborating with some more people in the creative space. I guess some lows have been just the overall feelings of like anxiety and depression that I've been going through, like waves of it. It's helped me that I started going to therapy. So I'm really, really grateful. I have a really awesome therapist that I like, and it's so funny. Like, I've only seen 2 therapists. My first one was so bad that I literally was convinced that she was AI. Like, I'm so dead ass. So I'm really grateful to have a therapist that I like. But yeah, I've just been, you know, going through it a bit, mentally speaking. But that also comes with, you know, what's been going on. I'm sure I'm not the only one collectively that's been having on and off, you know, spurts of depression or just like really intense anxiety all the time, like overthinking and stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure I have OCD as well, because a lot of my thoughts are like compulsive and really don't make that much sense and don't have anything to back them up. It's all like just intrusive thoughts, and those intrusive thoughts like stem from me not trusting myself or like believing myself. So doing a lot of like self-belief, self-trust, and just trust affirmations in general, like joyful affirmations, living joyfully, like things like that have really helped me and just stop with the overthinking and causing that intense anxiety for myself, you know. But if we're all a work in progress here. But yeah, because I don't really have that many lows for you, if I'm being so honest. Like, yes, like material world speaking, shit is also like stressful for me a little bit, just because I'm not like fully in a master adult yet. Like, I just turned 24, so I have to give myself grace and remember that I'm gonna make mistakes, and I'm not gonna know how to do everything right, and I'm gonna be silly. I'm gonna make silly mistakes, even though I think I'm trying to do everything perfect, and I'm really trying, guys. Sometimes I'm just not perfect, and I fuck up. And every time I do, it's just another, you know, time for me to learn how to forgive myself and learn how to give myself even more grace. So with that, I bid you adieu, but thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to comment your favorite character from Avatar: Last Airbender or Legends of Korra. I guess like, share, and don't forget about the Tattoos and Tarot event at Apartment 144, March 28th. Mark your calendars, guys. But yes, thank you so much for listening. Check out Moon Rocks on Instagram, either cherry.zots or Starcy Treasures on Instagram, or starcytreasures.com. Look them up, look them up, look them up. We'll be there. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.